All right, everybody, we are live. Dynasty Mirror, Search for Huru. And we have the sister Monsiola with us today, this evening. And we're going to be discussing is polygamy the black woman's best option? Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be upset by this topic. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's obviously a shortage of black men here in America. Uh, and not let's not just strictly deal with the typical prison and jail and all that stuff, but in my honest opinion, and Monisola, you might disagree with me. I feel as if black women in America specifically were the biggest supporters of, I would say, the LGBTQ lifestyle, not knowing how that was going to affect them on the back end. Now you might disagree, but that's how I feel. So we have that. We have the prison situation. We have men going this MGTOW movement, whatever it's called, men going their own way. So a lot of sisters are single. And then what I'm noticing now is a lot of African women, first generation, get into their 30s now, are single, and their parents are like, what the hell is going on? A lot of them, because of feminism, don't see polygamy as being a rational option. And a lot of that has to do with feminism and, well, I got a degree and I pay my own bills and I'm an independent, strong black woman, so I don't need no polygamy. Are you crazy? Montisola, do you think that polygamy is something that should be adopted across the black community? Like, what are your thoughts on polygamy?
So I definitely can't speak what is best for all individuals, all black women, but I can give my expertise and what I found. And what I want to do is really push people to really kind of delve into their self-healing and self-love. Because if you don't know who you are, if you are all over the place, you are not going to be able to really adopt a polygamous kind of relationship. And I think a lot of people struggle with the thought because, like you said, we live in a society where feminism is highly pushed, which is a great thing, but they push out certain aspects of the divine feminine love. And to say that, I just want to say I support polygamy. I support sisterhood. I support strong men. And I think that more people should be open to polygamy. More people should learn about themselves so they can learn about what a healthy, good relationship consists of, because they have these perceptions of polygamy that has been kind of spewed out through media and things that they kind of just read about that are just ultimately negative, and that's the picture they're being pushed. And a lot of women too, what I find is when I talk to my friends, they're kind of stuck in this egotistical view.
Right.
If you're very worried about jealousy or these type of emotions, that's something that you have to deal with within yourself. You don't have to push that externally onto your partner and onto the relationship ultimately. But I think every woman should be open to it and support your partner. Come from a part of love, not these other kind of emotions. But you can't do that if you yourself are not in a good divine space.
Let me ask you this. So when I lived well, not lived, but when I was in Senegal, in Tuba, my good friend Abdul, his father had three wives. They all live under the same roof. They all got along from what I saw. You could tell each one had a different role in the house. And it seemed like it was working. What like when you share this story with people who aren't familiar with polygamy, uh, of course they will tune it out. But what do you think? I mean, everybody was happy, or the kids were happy. Everybody got along. I'm sure they had their issues here and there. But
Yeah.
what do you think the positives are of an institution like polygamy?
For one, definitely you have this strong, strong, strong support system. You have this relationship between females that are divine, divine sisterhood, divine love. And then you have the dynamics in this family that you guys are always supporting each other. Their children is your children. So not only are you creating like more generational wealth, but you
Hmm.
have people to support you. You don't have to always go out to these outside sources because you have that within your family. So you're just creating this strong, strong, strong foundation. Your kids will have multiple, multiple people to go to for advice. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just this dynamics that's created, and it's like it's very sacred. It's very sacred. So that's definitely one of the positives. And I think one of the positives is sisterhood. Like you have this strong, strong sisterhood. Um, where you guys can be so creative and come up with so many different things to benefit your family, because at the end of the day you want to create a lineage, a very strong lineage that is going to be here for generations to come. You want to create divine children, that are going to carry and embody the values that you push on them, that God has bestowed upon you. And so I think what's really, really great about it is the strength that they have together.
Mm. So then, of course, the argument is, well, if the man can have more than one wife, why can't the wives have more than one husband? What are your thoughts on that?
I
Should the woman have more than one husband?
absolutely not. I
Why?
think
Why?
first of all, it gets very, very messy. This We have universal laws. If, of course, a lot of people, if you're not on that divine path, if you're not with that, you're gonna, of course, come up with different excuses to dispute um, what could be very beneficial. But as a woman, if you do have multiple partners, the issue you bring up, how do you know who is the father of the child? And it just gets
Right.
very mixy. Like
Exactly.
a man has dominant power. A lot in today's society, we don't like to acknowledge the power of the man. We kind of want to, like, oh, women have power too, which is they do, but the men, they have this special dominant power. And it just gets really mixy when you start to say, um, can a woman have multiple husbands? And naturally, I don't even think that could naturally feel right to any woman to have multiple men's for the rest of your life. Like, I don't think that is just natural for anybody.
All right. So the other objection is, well, I have a job, I pay my own bills. In a polygamous relationship, should a woman be working, or like what should her role be in the home? Like she should be paying bills, she should be working. Like what should she be doing?
Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a God-given purpose. Everyone's role in a relationship is going to be different. So I can't even say that this is going to be your specific role or this is what you're going to do. You're going to be in that relationship. You're going to grow and you're going to fit exactly where you fit. And you have your strengths. You have your God-given strengths. So do what is comfortable for you. You guys are going to be a family. You guys are going to come from a place of love, and you're also going to be in constant communication. So I am in no position to say like, oh, um, you're going to be paying, you're going to be washing the dishes and I'm going to be doing, no, that's not how it's going to work. You guys
Mhm.
are going to come to a consensus. You have a purpose, you have your strengths, and that's what you're going to bring to the whole marriage, your strengths. That's what everyone's really bringing, their collective strengths, so they can rise together and just kind of, elevate.
All right. So someone in the chat room's asking, are you currently, or have you ever been in a poly relationship?
No, I have not. I'm not married,
Uh-huh.
so I'm not in like a polygamous relationship, but I date multiple people. I think dating multiple people is natural. You date people, you see.
Go into detail. But like, what do you mean by you date multiple people? What is that?
Yeah. So for me, it's like I encourage everyone, and male and female, before you really settle down with a partner, before you choose who you really want to be in a committed lifetime relationship, date people. I'm not the type of person where I'm going to be exclusively dating one person, because, we live in a lifetime where you can meet so many great people. And I think for me, what dating is delving into those relationships, getting to know different people, and seeing what I like, what I don't like between those individuals. And when it comes down, if I do find someone that I really, really like and feel like, okay, this is the person that I need to be with for a lifetime, then I will choose and I will close the pool. But until then, I feel like, you should date multiple people. You should really delve in, see, do, get out there and really experience what it is you like. But the original question.
Go ahead.
What was the original question? Because I
No,
definitely
the original question was, do you are you in a poly relationship?
yeah, no. But I would support, like, if I got married and if my husband said, okay, I see this wonderful, wonderful sister, and I would support it 100%, because I already know the partner I'm going to choose is going to have our best interests, and I'm going to have our best interests as well. And I'm only going to come from a place of love.
All right. Tay in the chat room wants to know, what is your definition of a queen?
A what?
A queen. She wants to know, what is your definition of a queen?
A queen?
She's asking in the chat room. Hey, Tay. Tay's my good friend here in Atlanta.
My definition of a queen. Okay. So a queen, let me see. She knows exactly what it is she is here to do on earth. She has.
I'm not laughing at you. It's just I have always in the chat room is my boy Turkey, and he's just very controversial. He's funny as hell. So go ahead and finish your answer, and then I'm gonna read his statement. But go ahead.
I'm gonna finish my definition. So definitely one of the main things for me that really, really separates a queen from anyone else is the divine connection to the Most High. You have to be in tune. You have to be in tune to your spiritual self, because without that, you're gonna be lost. So that is definitely number one, being in tune with the Most High. That is ultimately how you can take your seat. Without that, you'll be lost. So definitely being that, and just being really assertive in what it is all you want. I don't feel like there's so much that makes a woman where it's like I can go on for days and list so much attributes, but ultimately it's just too much.
All right, Turkey is saying in the chat room that interracial relationships and polygamy is the worst thing a black man could ever involve themselves in, because it will fuck up your legacy. How do you feel about that statement?
Everything that I do, everything is a center of spirituality. Everything for me, God is first. So, and that surpasses between color. If I see someone, like, how could you dispute someone that is a man of God just because he's white? He could be the best person. He could have all these attributes and, want to see unity, want to see things moving forward. So I can't agree with that, just because I think the spirit of God can live in different people.
So someone is where Drew wants to know, do you have sex in these relationships, or are you waiting for the right person?
So for me, I know everyone's different. For me, I can only I can't have multiple sexual partners, because, like I said, that's not universal for me. And I cannot have sexual relationships with anyone that is not on the spiritual level that I am. So it's just like I can only give myself to someone that is on that spiritual level that I am, if that answers the question.
Okay. And then let's see here. Somebody else wanted to know. Oh, they wanted. Someone was asking in the chat room, how did you come to this, I guess, conclusion that how did you get to this point as far as accepting polygamy?
Okay. So it started on my spiritual journey. During my spiritual journey, through prayer, through meditation, I was receiving a lot of different messages, and a lot of different people were coming into my life. So I just, through that journey, when you take a journey to discover yourself, you learn so much different things about yourself. And for me, through my journey, I was able to learn and develop this. And I was in different relationships, and I met different people. And this is what ultimately caused me to come to that conclusion. And I really, really feel like um, strong men need strong women behind them. And I've experienced it. So that's how I came to the conclusion.
Mm. So what are your expectations from the man in a polygamous relationship?
For one, he has to be strong. He has to be divine. He has to be a man of God, because and nothing is easy. You are going to have different things coming, and you want the head of the household to be someone that is going to come from a place of love, that is going to come from a place of knowledge and wisdom. You want someone that is, of course, not going to pick up a woman that is totally opposite of the foundations that y'all are trying to build. So you definitely want someone filled with wisdom, filled with just that great love to really, really hold down the household.
Mhm.
You need a strong man. You need him to be strong sexually as well.
All right, so most blacks said you lost him on the interracial thing, but he still likes you.
Wait, what was
Awesome.
that last part?
That he still likes you, but you lost him on the interracial.
Okay.
Nita, I think you already missed that part. So she wants to know, how do you feel about interracial dating or marriages?
For me, honestly, I've never been attracted to anybody outside of my race, and I
Mhm.
haven't
Hold on,
encountered.
I thought you just said you just talked about interracial and
Yeah. I like I said, I am open. That's the thing. I am open, but I have
okay.
never encountered someone um, that was outside of my race that had these attributes. But I'm not gonna close the door and say like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, no, they would never. I know, I know there's a strong spirit, the spirit of God. And if someone really wants to find themselves, if someone wants to be spiritually connected, they can do that. And if I was to meet someone like that and they were outside of my race, maybe I would be open to it.
Our Black Kim wants to know, what is your religion? Oh, so let me ask you this: in a polygamous household, do you believe everybody has to follow the same religion, or what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think everyone has to be on the same page. Um, I don't want to speak like too like heavily on like the religion aspects, because I don't know. I don't really have too much knowledge on that, and I never really thought too heavily on that aspect. But I definitely think they all have to be on the same page, or even if they do have different beliefs, just having that respect and love for each other to really create that cohesiveness.
All right, what is your a lot of men are saying, black men are saying, black women aren't submissive, and then when I guess when a lot of black women think of submissive, they think coming to America, jumping on one foot, embarking. Like,
Mhm.
can you define submissive? Like, as a black woman, what would be considered submissive?
I think it's an art. You have to know how to move with your femininity. We're divine creatures. We just have this natural kind of, our pheromones is just naturally feminine, naturally just kind of like sexy, naturally loving. And for me, I would say that submissiveness is, it's an art. You have to know exactly how you can use your power and how you can use it on men, and how you can use it to get the results you want, and get the results that he wants. It's an art, and if you don't understand that art, you may take it the wrong way, or you may feel like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, you just have to know how to use your power and how to really kind of accept that.
Okay, what now as far as deciding, I know we sort of went into it on okay, if you were to join a polygamous relationship, would you have to be the first wife, or would you come into a situation already? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
It's
'Cause I
like
know a lot of women who are open to polygamy say they have to be the queen mother, I guess. Like, do you have to be the queen mother you yourself, or are you open to coming into a situation?
it's like I already know. I'm so comfortable in myself. I already know the powers that I have. So it's like I can never ever be this person, and this person can never be me. But I respect all the powers this person has, and I know my husband likes you because you have this specific attribute, and I know my husband likes me because I have this specific attribute, and like we both are divine. So it's like I'm so comfortable in myself, where it's like stuff like that is so like it's like very little. It's mundane. It's like I don't care about that because I already know my worth. So something like that could never ever bother me.
Mm. What so I'm about to ask this question. Somebody asked about threesomes in a polygamous relationship. What are your thoughts on that?
So definitely, you would have to be open and interested. Like if you're a person and you're not attracted to females, then or if you're not comfortable with the idea, then it's like okay, you don't have to do that. But for me, I'm comfortable with the idea, even if it's you don't have to be sexually involved with the other female unless that's what you're into. But I'm just like open into the idea because I'm a very like sexual, sensual person, and I love that connection that I will be able to have with my wife and my husband. So I would be open to it. But like I said, everyone is different. You just have to really be comfortable in who you are, and know what it is you like. You cannot go into a polygamous relationship if you are not a strong woman. If you don't know who you are, if you don't have that strength, you are not going to be able to get in a mix with other people.
All right, somebody had made a statement earlier. Let me try to find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's see here. So, would you actively look for other women for your husband, or was that something that he has to present to you?
I would say I wouldn't be actively looking. If the universe brought me a woman, I was like, wow, this sister is dope. I think my husband would like you, or I think you would be a great addition. I might just get them in the same room and see how it goes from there. But I wouldn't actively search. That's just not who I am. I'm really focused on my purpose and what I have to do here on earth. Um, so, but if it fell into my lap, that's something different.
So, in a polygamous relationship, like, would you guys go on vacations together? Like, how would it work? Like, you guys would do everything together, or would it be, you get your time with him, and he gets his time with, she gets the other woman or other wife will get her separate time. Like, how would it work?
I mean, I feel like in my head I have this perfect way, but I mean, I know everything cannot be as perfect as I vision it. But I think it's just like open, like the universe takes care of everything. Like, of course, we want to spend time together. Of course, sometimes I can't spend time with him. And of course, at times, each woman would want to have alone time. I want to have alone time with some of the women. I want to connect with my wives. So, like, at the end of the day, I just feel like when you come from a place of pure love, it's just like these things like you don't mind. You're like, oh, y'all are going out, okay, have fun, I'm gonna be with the kids or whatever it may be, or I'm gonna work on this project that I have going on. It's just, you know the universe is gonna take care of it, and you can just do your part.
All right. So Grace says the man should not be surprised when he comes home and they are going at it. Of course, They lock him out of the relationship and he becomes the wife. What are your thoughts on that statement?
First of all, two women of God that are on their divine purpose and have nothing but love for each other are these are not women that are going to be bickering back and forth. I'm not to say that they're not going to have disagreements, but this is a relationship where it's like, yo, we have a purpose. We are divine women. We are both queens. We're only going to talk to each other with straight love. We're
Mm-hmm.
coming from a place of love. Our objective is to always understand each other. And kind of the knowledge that I have, I'm going to give you. The knowledge that you have, you're going to give me. It's not going to be a thing where it's like, she said blah 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 blah. That's not what's going to be happening, you know. And I think people have that perception because a lot of times, a lot of women, if you're not really at that space spiritually, you're gonna have a lot of projections that you yourself have been internalizing from others, and that these internalizations you are also pushing on others. So that really has to go back to working on yourself.
All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Black men always looking for someone meant to feel powerful but cannot control themselves. And this is coming from a black woman. So you, black woman, what are your thoughts on that comment?
One more time, can you repeat that one more time?
Black men always looking for someone to submit to feel powerful but cannot control themselves. What do you think about that comment?
I don't know. Maybe like I said, these projections may be coming from past experience or what
Yeah, 'cause
she's.
I think sometimes a lot of black women and men make the wrong decisions and
Mhm.
feel bitter about making the wrong decision. Instead of coming to terms with themselves, they like to blame everybody else. I see a lot of that going on.
Yeah, I honestly, a lot of the men that I personally deal with, they're strong men, and I want to submit to them.
Uh-huh.
Like it's like I said, if you have this strong king, it's like, yeah, like of course I want to be down with you. I want to, I want to grow. I want to show you sides of me that I don't show other people.
Mhm.
And I would never do that to a man that is not worthy.
Right.
So
All right. And what happens if you're in a polygamous relationship and the man wants to divorce one of the wives? Like, how does that play out? What are your thoughts on that?
oh, that's so tricky. um wow, that's so tricky. I mean, it's like I would try my best to. I'm like a peacemaker. So
Hmm.
I always like show so much love, and I'm like, wait, no, but so I would really try my best to just make everything work. And yeah, at the end of the day,
No, I'm just reading these comments in the chat room. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
no worries. I mean,
Uh-huh,
but at the end of the day,
uh-huh.
well, it gets messy too if we have like kids together. It's like, wait, our kids.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm kind of stumped on that one, but I would really, really try my best to really, really bring peace, love, and just come from a space where it's like, and I think a lot of people kind of get confused about polygamous relationship because what I'm coming from is the spiritual aspect, and it's like there's certain dimensions that people that are very heavily spiritual are on. Certain things just don't occur because it's like once you are at that level, I don't know, it just doesn't happen. But
Mm,
well, I'll try my best to make peace.
okay. So you're the other wife has a kid. How do you treat that kid? Do you treat that kid as your kid, or how does it work?
Of course, those are all our kids, all our babies. I mean, these are kids you're gonna see. You're gonna see her give birth. You're probably gonna help her give birth. You're gonna hold that baby. You're gonna love that baby. She's gonna be there for you through your contractions. Like
Hmm.
this is a strong, strong like sisterhood. Like
Hmm.
their kids is gonna be your kids. You're gonna see them like you're gonna see them their whole life growing up. You're gonna have so much love for them.
Hmm. Let's see here. What else we have in the chat room? So now I don't know if I could bring this up, but your family,
Mm-hmm.
can
Yes.
we speak on that a little bit,
Oh
or
yeah, definitely.
okay? So like so I guess your stepfather was you guys had like
My
okay, go ahead. Can you speak on that and how that experience
Yes,
was?
my grandfather.
No, your grandfather. I'm tripping. Your grandfather, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, I come from a polygamous family. My grandfather had 4 wives and 22 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they lived in the same compound. And I constantly, ask my aunts about the experience, and they share it, and they say it was amazing. They never had to go out and look for friends. They were all together, and like each wife cooked a different like week, and they loved the experience. And till today, like I just have so much cousins, so much family here in America, and they're all doing different things, and they're all close, and well, some closer than others for the siblings, but it's like it's a beautiful experience that they had. And at the time, my grandfather owned a farming kind of like industry thing that he was doing. So he was farming and then selling some products, so they all worked on the farm as well, so they had like a nice business going on, very wealthy, and it was a great experience for them.
Mm. So what should a man have in place before he decides to go the path of polygamy from a woman's perspective? Because you see a lot of obviously broke men without
Mhm.
resources talking about some polygamy. Like, what should a man have in place, the basics, before he considers a polygamous relationship?
Mhm. First and most foremost, uh, everything for me goes down to spirituality and God. You really, really, really want to be have that foundation stuck. So everything you touch and everything you like, how you move, it's blessed. So definitely that first, and of course, you want to build your wealth, because how can you be this supportive, strong man if you can't support the woman that you are trying to make your wife be like, you're the caretaker. Of course, these women are gonna be basically doing their own part as well, but you have to set that foundation, you have to set the course. And it's like, if you don't have the funds, if you don't have the strength, it's not for you. If you're not strong minded, if you're not strong willed, it is not for you. Like, you have to be a strong man,
Hmm.
a man
All
of
right,
God.
the living arrangement. So my friend in Senegal, in Tuba,
Hmm.
they had like a compound, and each woman had somewhat their own quarters. But what I noticed is the father, the husband, always slept by himself. So for the most part, from what I observed, um, or I don't know, when I was asleep, maybe one of the wives might have crept through and went back to her living quarters. I don't know. How would the living arrangement be? Will you guys have all be in one house or separate quarters? Like how would that work?
Everybody is different. For me, I'm very, very family oriented, so I would want everyone to be in one, definitely the same compound. I'm not opposed to having your own space, having your own area, but I definitely need everyone to be in the same vicinity, same area. That's what I would love, man.
Okay.
That would be.
Avram wants to know: have you received backlash for your polygamous views?
Oh yeah. All
Mhm.
the time my friends, they're like, I don't know. It's just like they don't understand it, and it it's not, like I said, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone to understand. Once you really, really start to delve into yourself, and you start to learn different things, and you go on your path, you start to learn what is for you. So of course I received backlash. Not everyone has the same views as me. Not everyone understands me, and I don't expect them to like understand me. I'm completely comfortable in everything I say and everything I do, and that's not going to change.
Mm. How does your mom feel about polygamy? Has she brought it up? Have you guys ever had that discussion?
No, I mean, she grew up in a polygamous household, so, but we never had that conversation. I mean, she always hinting at me to, she wants me to get married, but we've never had that conversation.
Mm. So someone wants to know, are you currently in a relationship? Like, are you actively looking for a situation?
So it's funny because like I kind of touched upon it in the beginning. My definition of a relationship is not really the kind of regular type of perception everyone has. I think I have a relationship with everybody I meet. So I have a very different relationship perception. And so to say that, I have multiple relationships with multiple people, and they are all different people, and they all carry a different purpose in my life.
Okay. So when are you going to decide to, I guess, settle down with one person? Like how,
I,
like what's the checklist to to when you finally decide, like what checklist do you use to decide which person you're gonna choose to be in the committed relationship with?
I
Like how does that
don't
work?
I don't have a checklist. I don't have like any type of like, oh, he has to be this, he has to be that. I definitely put my faith in God, and I let God and the universe guide me. I know when I do meet someone and I build a relationship with them, things will fall exactly right into place. It's not something that I'm actively searching for or worried about. I just build relationships with people and see where it goes.
Mhm. All right, so maybe you could talk some sense to Grace Truth Teacher. She said she had a Senegalese invite her to be the second wife. Honestly, he was the best, in all caps, man that I have ever met. Mature, truly spiritual, hardworking, smart, industrious, etc. But I said no. Like, what can you tell this sister? Like, what? Like, how can you encourage her to rethink that situation?
So, why did she say no? I'm like,
She hasn't gave the reason why she said no. Hopefully she does, but she said no. So what could if she found the perfect man, why,
mhm.
like, how can you convince her to rethink that opportunity?
I mean, how could you? I, I'm a big person. Like until I try something, until I really, really get a grasp on the facts and how I feel, I can't really turn anything down. So it's like, why not just have fun, be yourself, experience, and just kind of ride the wave and see if you like the wave. You don't have to make any commitments right away.
Hmm.
Just see if you like the brother, see if you like the arrangement, see if you like the sister, if you like the family. You can't just flat out, just oppose things that you've never ever tried. That's like saying like you see strawberries and you're like, no, I don't like strawberries,
Mm,
but you never tried strawberries.
mm,
So, see.
mm. All right. So, what's the maximum amount of wives that your husband can have?
um for me, I'm not the type of person that I don't like to, first of all, I don't like to place limitations on anybody, because I'm not going to place limitations on myself.
Hmm.
So I trust, like, the person I choose, he is going to be a man of God. He's going to embody me and my values, maybe even surpass that. So, like, who am I to put a limit and be like, you can only have this amount of wives, or, I think it gets cut off for me when it's like more than like 10 or like just crazy numbers. That's when it's like, okay, let's be realistic. And the person I choose will not even think like that. But I'm not going to place any limitations on my husband because I know my husband knows how to move. I know he got it. Like, I don't have to worry about how he's thinking because he has my trust. That's why I chose him.
How do you feel about feminists? 'Cause I know feminists, for the most part, are anti-polygamous. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on feminism?
Yeah, feminism in regards to polygamy. 'Cause I know a lot of feminists are anti-polygamy. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've never like came in contact with, like, I'm in a lot of groups, so with a lot of women, and I've never came in contact with women that are like super super against it. Like, I can't, I don't feel I'm in a position to really speak on that. Like I said, everyone has something that is or isn't for them. Like, but my thing is, don't be against something you know nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
So get the facts, know yourself, and really, really, really be open to new things. You can't just oppose something without knowing the facts or knowing anything.
And a lot of people have been making this point in regards to people who disagree with feminism. In a lot of situations, the man is cheating anyway. So you're, for the most part, or the girl is sharing anyway. So you're practicing, not feminism, but polygamy. The man is sharing I mean, the man's cheating, so the woman is sharing anyway anyway. So why not practice polygamy where you know where your man's dick is going? What are your thoughts on that? Should that be a reason to practice polygamy since the man more than likely is going to cheat anyway?
If for me, I think someone that is honest
Mm-hmm.
will not be able to have a stable polygamous relationship, because polygamy is it's not just about having multiple wives. It's deeper than that. Like I said, there's so much things that go into everything. So like if a man can't even really be honest with you and say like, listen babe, I'm seeing this other girl and I like her too, and I'm having sexual relations with her as well. If you guys don't have that honesty, y'all will not even last in a polygamous relationship. Y'all gonna be arguing every day.
All right. Somebody in the chat room said that since you're not married yet and you haven't, I guess, truly been in a polygamous relationship, you really can't speak on it in regards to the good and the bad. What would be your response to that?
I mean,
Are you in a position to say, my mouse almost dropped my damn mouse. Are you in a position to truly speak on polygamy, the positives and the negatives?
definitely, I'm definitely not. Like you said, I haven't really experienced. All I can bring to is my thoughts, what I have seen on my spiritual journey, and the expectations that I have, what I believe, and what I practice. Of course, I don't have that realistic experience, so I can't sit here and tell you all of these things. My family has, they've been in a polygamous relationship, and I've come into contact with different things, different relationships. So that's the expertise that I'm giving. But when it comes to really being in a polygamous relationship, I can't give that expertise. But that does not mean I can't have valuable information and knowledge to share with everybody else.
Hmm. Do any of your friends, do you know anyone right now in a polygamous relationship?
As in a marriage?
Yes. I would guess so. Yes, a marriage.
Yes, I come from a polygamous family,
Mhm.
so a lot of my family members are in polygamous relationships.
Mhm. So what? Okay, so what negative have you saw in these polygamous relationships?
Definitely, my family too. They have shared negatives as well. Um, when it comes down to like jealousy or arguments, it's harder to resolve arguments, and if someone's feeling some type of way, it is also a bit harder to resolve. But that's why I find it very, very important to pick people of God. Like, if you're not a woman of God, if you're not a man of God, you're not really going to be able to really come out and have that understanding. Your chat's going off again.
Yeah.
but but those are the negatives, that my family has told me and other people have told me.
Okay. What man, what was I about to ask? Oh, so in the chat room. Oh, can you tell people your background, like where you're from, um, in
I'm
your
from
family?
My family's from Nigeria. I was born here, and I grew up in a very Nigerian household, although I was born here to.
What is a very Nigerian household? What is
So I speak the native language Yoruba. In my house, we spoke very little English, It was mostly Yoruba. We didn't eat English food. It was Nigerian food, everything. Basically, they brought the culture here, and that's how they raised me through the culture. So that's how I partly grew up.
Mm. So the okay, can you define, somebody wants to know, can you define what a spiritual man is?
A man of God, someone that is constantly praying every single day, searching for what it is they need to do, their purpose. It's like it's it's not a lot, but it is a lot. It's just it's this it's this energy that's in them, that it's like you it's like these universal principles that are just embedded in the person, and honestly it all boils down to following those universal principles in regards to God. I'm trying my best
Okay.
to explain it. I hope I'm explaining it good enough.
You are. All right, so Helena Black says her ex-husband's parents were in a polygamous marriage. She was never able to eat with the other wives for fear of poisoning. What are your thoughts on that statement?
um,
Because there was a story, actually it was in Nigeria, of a man who had several wives, and I think the wives conspired and actually killed him for the insurance money
oh
or
lordy.
something. So, like, what are your thoughts on that? Should that deter somebody from being in a polygamous relationship because of these one-offs of the wives killing the husband or poisoning each other? What are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, I'm a big person. Go out, do it, see, feel, get the facts, and see. Come to the conclusion by yourself. No one could think for you. You want to think for yourself, and so like I would never, nothing would ever deter me because of what somebody else said. So I would also just say, really, really, and you know what feels natural for you. You know what you can do. So it's like be true to yourself, and really, because if you pay attention to what other people have to say all the time, you're gonna always constantly be all over the place.
Mm.
But and back to that poisoning thing, that's very very unfortunate.
Yeah,
If you chose the right wives, I don't think that would have happened.
yeah, exactly. Because I know when I go to synagogue, I don't have to worry about anything. Let's see here. Who do you pray to? That's just somebody, because you keep mentioning God. So people are asking, what religion do you practice, or if you practice one, like what do you?
So I don't practice any religion because I already know I have this light within me. Whether it be I'm in a mosque or I'm in a church, I can sit down and I can connect to God whenever and wherever I am because He is within me. I already have that divine connection. I don't need to go through another medium to reach that connection because ultimately I am the connection. I am the light from His light. So I really understand that. So it's like I can sit down anywhere and I can pray to God. So my God is the ultimate. It's the same God that everybody worships, the Creator, the Most High,
Mm,
and that's who I pray to.
okay, let's see here. Damn, your wives could team up and murder you. Again, that's a one-off. That's definitely a one-off. Um, let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, she's a Sufi, close to it, I would say. Yeah, she's from Senegal. Not you, my fiance in Senegal. She's in Senegal. She's from Senegal. Let's see what other questions. Oh, okay. This is off topic. Black Kemet wants to know, how do you feel about skin bleaching in Africa?
It's unfortunate that people are so uncomfortable with the way that they look. They feel they must bleach their skin to conform to the societal kind of norms of whiteness and colorism. It's very, very unfortunate. And that's why I really, really push spirituality. I don't care if you're spiritual in church, mosque, if you're going to a temple, connect to God. So you need to know your self-worth. You need to know that you are on earth for a purpose. The way you look is for a purpose, and you need to be 100% comfortable in that and in your powers. So it's unfortunate.
Hmm. How many kids should each woman have? Like what? Like how many kids should like say it's a man with two wives? Like what's the maximum amount of kids do you think each woman should have?
Like I said earlier, I'm not one to put any limitations on anybody. I trust in God. So ultimately, He is the decider. I am not a decider. He will decide what is the right number for each and every single woman. So I leave everything in His hands.
Okay. Anti-gravity 74 said as much as he can afford. Let's see here. But thank you for everybody. Thank you for joining us. In regards to this topic in regards to polygamy. I know it's very controversial, usually here in the Black community here and really amongst Christians as well. Not even just Christians, but I think more Muslim women are more open to it because it's in the Quran. But I know usually with Christian women, it's a fat no. But thank you everybody for joining us. Please get the likes up. Make sure you share the video as well. Super chat if you can. Uh, Monsiola, so when will you think like, well, how can I say? When do you think it will be time for you to finally settle down and get into a serious, I guess, or get married?
I think I've said this so many times. I am not the decider of my life, although I like to think like, okay, I'm in control. I can do this. I have these decisions to make every day. But I trust in God. When the time comes, God will let me know this is the individual you need to settle down with, and this is the time. I mean, I can say like, oh, I want to get married in so years and have so children, but I am not the planner. I am not. Ultimately, we all have these plans for our lives, and we see things go way different, and that's because God has the ultimate rule and plan, and whatever He says is gonna go. So I just trust in God, and I just do my part. My main thing is to follow my purpose, my divine purpose, the reason why I'm here on earth, and to follow that and focus on that, and everything else will fall in line.
Mm. How about courting? So if your husband brings a woman, wants to bring a woman into a relationship, what's the process as far as actually letting her into the home? Like, how does that work?
I would definitely want to build a relationship with her, get to know her. Like I said, the partner that I choose, he is going to be a reflection of me, may even surpass me. So I am going to have my full trust within him and within God, knowing like whoever he chooses, is divine. But of course, I would like to build a relationship with the woman, but her just getting the confirmed from my husband, that will mean so much for me.
Mm. Let's hear. Andre says, "Peace to the beautiful sister."
Thank you. Peace
That's
and
some,
love to you.
God damn. I'm not asking that. Let's see here. So how do you think a polygamous relationship would be better fit in Africa or here in America?
Well, like I said, I'm not the type of person where I'm like, okay, this can only happen here, this can only do here. I think it is very beneficial, and the people, women, divine men that are up for it, that can really build that strong foundation, do it. It don't matter where you are. Do it, build that foundation, raise kings and queens, raise a generation that is gonna have a lasting effect, that are gonna change the wheels of power. Like, raise it. So I don't really see very much significance on location.
So rare Jewel wants to know, and I've already asked you this question, and I told you how I felt about your response. She's asking, how old are you?
Yes, so I don't reveal my age because I feel there are a lot of connotations that people place with age. Um, because you are a certain age, they feel like they can make these things that gather these ideas or just certain perceptions about you. So for that reason, I do not reveal my age to anyone.
How do you guys feel about that in the chat room? Okay. Helena is saying there needs to be a school on how to do polygamy because people find it so hard to do a relationship with just one person. Are there any resources that you know of that can teach people how to properly be in a polygamous relationship?
First and most foremost, you need to learn yourself. You cannot be if someone could teach you these concepts, and if you are not right within, if your inner weather is not right, if you don't have this connection to the divine, if you don't have a connection to yourself, you are not going to be able to weather a polygamous relationship. So you need to get that knowledge from yourself, from connecting to God, before you can even think about stepping in to a polygamous relationship or learning knowledge from other men and women. Learn about yourself because you set the standards. You're queen, like you set what goes and what doesn't go. So you need to really, really go within and learn about yourself and unlock those powers within yourself.
Mm. All right. Will you be attending your husband's other weddings?
I mean, I would hope so. I need to be in there. Of course. Yes, it's our wedding. I know a lot of people want to separate. Of course, he's the head of the household, but at the end of the day, we are all one and it is our wedding. So, of course, I will be there in a dress as well.
Mm. All right. What about men? What's your message to men who are exploiting polygamy and using it, uh, for freaky purposes and not the beneficial purposes? What are your thoughts on that? Because there are a
Um,
lot of people doing that, and a lot of women falling for that.
they are obviously weak men.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't want to come across like someone like that. I mean, you can tell. A lot of people, they like to ignore signs, but you can tell when someone's really not about what they say. You can tell through their energy and through their actions. So at the end of the day, all they're doing is bringing the universe down. And the goal for polygamy is to create offspring that are going to be kings and queens that are going to rise and change the status of what's happening on earth. um, but yeah, nothing but a thumbs down to those men.
All right, this is the last statement. And we'll get your response to. Uh, Helona Black says there's too many men running around taking advantage of women because they think God told them they have full rights to as many women as they want, without any responsibility for raising a family. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't want to like it. It's not, like I said, if someone's coming to you and they're talking and they're saying all of these things, you have to be in a position, like if you're a strong woman that is connected to God, that is very in tune, you're going to be able to call it. You're going to be able to call bullshit when you see bullshit. So a lot of people, they're so comfortable with passing off that what's happening that to them off on others, but when actually it's all internal. You set the standards for what you want to accept. And I'm not even co-signing that what these males are doing is right. It is wrong. They ain't shit, and they know that. But it's for you to really recognize that they ain't shit and keep it moving, and open the gateways to kings and men that are gonna treat you the way you want to be treated. Don't open the gateway for bullshit ass men.
Cool. All right. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and let's see. A great question, Dinus. What we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Anything you want to say in closing, and also too, please give everybody your, if you mind, your contact information so they can reach out to you.
Yes, yes, yes. So I am on Instagram at brownsugar.mo. So that is brown sugar spelled regularly, and then .mo. And I do have some documents for the women and men that want to really get in tune with themselves, really want to delve into self-healing. I do offer some documents to get you on the steps to self-healing, get you on the steps to delving into your spirituality, delving into finding your purpose. So I do have that, and I can provide that. You can just hit me on Instagram, send me your email, shoot me a message, and I can tell you more about what it is I do and what it is I offer. And I also work with kids. I'll be bringing 10 wonderful kids to South Africa with a nonprofit organization that I work for. So if you want more information on how to donate to that as well, every little cent counts, you can hit me on Instagram. And I am on Facebook as well at Monsiola, Monisola, Abujade, Abujade. And you can always message me and I can shoot you information about the work that I do. I help people heal their mind, body, and soul. So yeah.
I'm just putting this in the chat room real quick. Let's see here.
And thank you guys for the great questions as well. You guys got my mind vibrating and thinking. And I just want to shoot a lot of love and peace to y'all.
Turkey said you're gonna have a bunch of thirsty dudes in your DM.
Oh my gosh.
This is funny. But hey, everybody, thank you for joining us. People who super chatted, thank you so much for super chatting. If you are new to this stream, please subscribe. Also go to search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Make sure you go to searchforhuru.com, and also make sure you go to Amazon.com, search your name Dynasty Mirror. Please buy a book. I will be back on tomorrow. So again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Monsiola, thank you again for joining us. So till next time, everybody, peace.